Hello, my beautiful friends. So I wanted to share something pretty personal with you guys, and I wanted to share something in regards to the awakening process that is still currently happening, and what you might be feeling right now. And I'm feeling this because I'm feeling this. So I wanted to share it with you. Hopefully my experience with you helps with your current experience. And actually, I started this video 30 minutes ago, but I got interrupted, so it stopped, and within that last 30 minutes, two separate things have verified what I've been feeling. So, I just wanted to point that out. Things always show up. Ask and it is given. So, I have been on this awakening spiritual path, trying to find myself, find the answers to the questions I had in my early life. It's still in my early life, in my teenage years. And so just recently, probably 2 or 3 days ago, I really started to question, have I been doing it all wrong for the last 12 years? And that was kind of, it was definitely catalyzed by me watching 2 videos of Doreen Virtue. If any of you know who Doreen Virtue is, she was one of the leading authors of the New Age movement starting in the 90s, and she worked a lot with angels and did seminars for learning how to challenge your angelic guides and just your guides in general, your spiritual guides. And so she was doing an interview with this other young man who was the founder of the Spirit Science and Metaphysics website. So he wasn't the founder of Spirit Science, which is on YouTube still. He's the founder of the Spirit Science and Metaphysics website, which was one of the leading websites for the New Age movement, we'll call it. And so both of these individuals, Doreen Virtue and this other man, Stephen, they were very much in the New Age, and they have renounced the New Age and become fundamentalist Christians. And so I was listening to their experiences and just kind of intrigued by the whole situation. And after listening to them, for some reason, I started to question if my past for the last 11 years, 12 years, my journey for these last 12 years was a bunch of craziness. I actually had a conversation with my beautiful, perfect wife last night. And I heard Doreen Virtue and this other man say that if channeling is a form of demonic possession, and that if you're channeling something and it doesn't say that we come in the name of God, of Jesus Christ, the Savior, that it is a form of a demon. And I shit you not, I started to think, have I been really going away from God the last 12 years? And not only that, but in sharing these videos, have I been taking others away from God as well? And I really, if any of you, sorry, my eye feels like it has something in it, that's why I keep opening it. If any of you who are like people that know me in real life are watching this, you know that I am very introspective, very self-analytical. So I'm constantly observing the thoughts that are going through my head and the emotions associated with those thoughts. And just this questioning of, has my past really been the right path? Have I been doing the right thing for 12 years? And not only that, have I been sharing the right information for people? And then, because I've kind of awakened this inner channel with my higher self, with Archangel Michael, and with the divine source, with the creative presence, I was really like asking and having these inner battle, this inner conversation, like, are you like, are you demonic? And questioning myself nonstop for like the last 48 hours. And every time I'd question, I kept getting this answer of no, like, you're on the right path. This is just part of the awakening process. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? This has really got me it's really thrown me for a tailwind, I don't know, a spin, a vortex. It's really thrown me. Like, have I been fucking up this last 12 years and taking people away from that creative source, that infinite source, that spiritual presence that is the God force, that is God, that is the Christ consciousness, that is the Christhood, that is your Buddhahood? Have I been taking people away from that in sharing these videos and in what I say to others? Or have I been bringing them closer to that? And I just kept getting this feeling, this really gut feeling that right now, part of the awakening process for all of us, leading us into this fifth dimensional aspect of this new earth, is that it's time right now for us to question our past. And not only that, but the things of our past are forcing us right now to grow into who we are going to be, who we already are as spiritual beings. And I know that is truth by the way I feel. And if you are a Christian listening to this, I love you no matter what. Like, I truly do. I appreciate Christianity, and I, as I've said before, Jesus is my ultimate teacher. And I communicate with Jesus as much as I can, or at least I'm open to hearing his wisdom. And but I know that by the way that I feel. And then all these thoughts kind of came into my head, and I started thinking, if these people are talking about demonic forces because they're afraid, they're fearful, something happened to them where they felt alone and they felt isolated, and they turned to Christianity or Jesus, I think that's beautiful. I think that's magical. But then as they read the Bible as a literal translation, all the things start running through my head that I've thought about for the last 12 years, as in, why is it that only the West sees Christianity as the ultimate religion? And had you been born 5,000 miles to the east, you would be a Buddhist or a Hindu or a Muslim. And like, even in the Bible, if God is omnipresent within all things, then that means literally that God is everything. God created everything, right? So God is also omnipresent. It says that in Genesis. That means he's in all things. So if we're talking about demonic forces, how can there be demonic forces from an all-loving God? And then I kept going with it, and I thought, you know what? If I am being possessed by a demon, which sounds ridiculous, mind you, right? Because if I'm being possessed by a demon, or if I'm channeling demonic forces, but these forces are only for the upliftment emotionally of others, so be it. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but that's just part of the process that I'm going. I'm just sharing this because maybe you're having some weird fears coming up, It all comes down to fear for me. Right now, to me, this is me babbling on, but this is the whole end product. The awakening process right now for me is challenging my past belief patterns, and in the most extreme way. I enjoy Christianity. I used to like going to Sunday school when I was in middle school with my best friend Kevin. Shout out to Kevin. It's his birthday yesterday. I need to text him, by the way. My best friend growing up, Kevin. And I used to love going to Sunday school, and I used to love learning about Jesus. But I always had so many questions. Like, it just didn't make sense. And even before I had my bone marrow transplant at 16, I read the entire Old Testament. And then I got to the New Testament, I was like, oh, Jesus isn't in here, I'm done with this book. So I guess I didn't read. But then as I got older, I started reading more of the Gospels. And I'll be honest with you, I've never read the Gospel in its entirety. I just open, the Gospels, and I'll read because I feel like there's wisdom to be had there. But this whole awakening process for me, and just within the last 30 minutes, it kind of showed up with 2 other people and their past. But the past right now is coming full force into our conscious now present moment. And it's there for us as a learning process. It's there for me as a learning process to kind of mull over and really question, have I been doing the right things on this path the last 10 years, the last decade of my life? Have I been working diligently towards love? Have I been working diligently towards finding myself? Have I been working diligently towards benefiting others and listening and truly being authentic and honest with myself, and not trying to sugarcoat it and trying to just, law of attraction everything and think positively and yada yada yada, but being honest with my emotional center, owning the emotions that I'm feeling, understanding the emotions as it what's the word I'm looking for? As it interacts with my thought processes. Am I having emotions as an indicator, as a guidance system, or am I just trying to cover it up? Am I trying to cover up me not wanting to feel afraid? And so right now, the awakening process is facing our fears. And oftentimes we have so many fears when it comes to our past. So many things we wish we could have done better, or wish we could have done differently. And were we authentic in that? And have we been doing the right thing since then? And to me right now, the awakening process is all about facing our fears of our past. And for me, the response that I keep getting from my inner guidance, from my higher self, from God, is that if you're doing the best that you can with what you've got right now, then it's pretty fucking good. My inner guidance, what I keep hearing, is that if you are doing the best that you can right now, then you're on the right path. If you are aiming to be kind, if you are aiming to be gentle, if you are aiming to be compassionate, if you are aiming to be grateful, if you are aiming to cultivate more joy within yourself and others, if you are aiming to learn, if you are aiming to grow, if you are working towards what you feel is the betterment of yourself and others, there can be nothing more holy than that. That feels good, doesn't it? There can be nothing more holy than working towards the betterment of yourself and others, authentically and honestly. And if that means facing your fears, facing your deepest fears, such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I want to say a quote really quickly, popped into my head. It's from Marianne Williamson. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be beautiful, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the universe. There's nothing enlightened about hiding your light. There's nothing enlightened. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is within everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others from theirs." That's what we're dealing with right now. So I might have misquoted that a little bit in the enlightened part. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others don't feel insecure around you or something like that. Anyways, this was longer than anticipated. But we're all dealing with our awakening process right now. So if you are feeling fearful, if you are feeling hesitant, anxious about the future, and if you've been acting wrong, I would guide you. I would suggest, my advice would be that if you feel that you've been doing your authentic best and you've been working towards love while honoring fear, not hiding from it, but honoring it and working inward with that, I think you're doing a pretty fucking great job. And just to keep riding this wave of ascension. In March, I'm just going to share this really quick. The last of it's been 18 minutes. Sorry. Thank you for lasting this long. In March, I had these crazy weird, my memory was like, I couldn't articulate appropriately. I couldn't access song lyrics, song names, like things that I'm really good at. My memory was just being jumbled, and I was like, what is happening? I was scared to death because I thought I was getting dementia or something at 31 or 30. And sure as shit, my guidance kept saying, this is just part of the awakening process. We're rewiring your brain. We're clearing out all of the old patterns stuck in your head. You're changing, so be okay with this. Then a few months ago, I think it was last month, July, August, I was dealing with anxiety. I don't deal with anxiety, but I used to deal with anxiety when I would drive to Oakland Children's Hospital and I had to get chemotherapy. I had a lot of anxiety. I would give myself a lot of sickness. So I still had a lot of anxiety within my cellular structure in my physical body. And again, I felt, okay, this is just part of the awakening process. The guides, God, Jesus, they were all telling me, Archangel Michael were all telling me, this is just part of the awakening process. You're doing great. Just keep moving forward. And now I feel like this is one of the hardest things for me because it's questioning if my path has been appropriate for the last 12 years. This has really been difficult, and I still have a little anxiety and fear like in my body. And I think a lot of that fear stems again from past when I was sick. And, we always have the fear, but that fear from when I was sick and didn't know what was going to happen, and had to listen to God, to the God source moving through me. I had to listen to the I am presence, the Christ. I had to listen to that, and it led me to where I am now, to be sharing these videos with you, and to be healed and to be whole again. But that fear is still in my cellular signature, you know. It's still in my DNA, and there's another awakening happening. And it's happening fast, you know, from March to now. That's 6 months, 7 months. Holy shit, like, it's moving, you know, like, we're moving at a rapid pace. So I'm feeling it on a massive level, and if you're feeling it, I hope this video puts you at a little peace. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video, but I hope if it resonated with you that you share it and you like it, because a lot of us are going through this. So that's why I just wanted to share this, and it's so much longer than I intended it to be. I'm sorry. Thank you for lasting this long. But anyways, yeah, the awakening process, we just got to keep moving with it. And I hope this helped you, just from the shit that I'm going through. I hope that helped you guys, and I appreciate you guys for watching. If you're doing the best that you can, and you feel that you're moving, at least you're trying your best, I think we're doing the right thing, you guys. Like, we're on the right path. If you're working towards love while honoring your fear, I think there's nothing more holy and more beautiful than that. Truly, I don't think there can be any higher gift to learn from all the master teachers, to learn from Jesus, to learn from Buddha, to learn from the Vedic scriptures, to learn from Islamic. I've never read into any Islamic text. To learn from as many people as possible, and coagulating that and making that your own truth, infinite truth, your own wisdom. As long as it feels good here, I truly believe you're on the right path. And this video helped me, so thank you for watching. If only 5 of you watch, I appreciate it, because this lightened my heart today. So thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you hopefully soon. Love you. Bye.